Hello guys, welcome back to another video. This is the fourth part with Cobra, and today we have Jesus. He's somebody who was supposed to join us earlier, but now he's just joining us. Today we're just doing a shuffle. It's going to be a short video since there's only four of them. This guy, and these three. There's technically five, but the fifth one is the same thing as the fourth, just with different colors. We're just going to go over this, and then I'm going to sorry about the third part. I'm just going to link y'all's to Cobras Channel because mine kind of got scrapped. I was out of it so often, but let's get into the video.
Yeah.
Alright, boys. So let's just start off with the first gen shuffle.
Alright, what now? No. Alright,
Oh, that's the USB stick, right?
Yeah, that's
first gen shuffle S tier.
Yeah,
This is the peak. This is as good as it's gonna get.
What?
Yeah.
But it only has half a gig and a gig.
Yeah, but you can use it as a USB drive. That makes it the most usable shuffle. Period.
I mean, I guess.
The extra utility is just so much better.
Oh, hold on.
If it had 2 or 4 gigs, then yeah, S tier. But it's so low that I don't think it deserves
all
that.
the other ones you can't really use for anything else. They removed the USB drive was the most unique feature of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm putting it as an S tier. The only thing is, with that Nano, we already had more storage options. I know we had bigger storage compatibility. It would have been nice to see bigger than just a gig. Because I think that's the only thing that's kind of
2 to
holding it
4
back.
maybe.
I mean, 4 gigs would have been fine. Because, my thing with this, people have said in the Discord, oh, it should have had 32 or more. That doesn't make sense for a shuffle. You're saying you're going to have 32 full gigs of music and you're going to remember your whole playlist? That's, almost impossible.
Yeah, that doesn't work for a shuffle.
That's why you have
It's also it's also kind of meant to be, as cheap as possible.
Yes.
For, again, kids.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Nanos.
And, it was just a nice feature that also happened to work as a flash drive. But, if you have your 30-pin cable and you plug it into a desktop, the classics work fine as an external drive, too. It might be slow, but it's still going to work.
Yeah, but the thing with the classics, you got to make sure you format it right. It's got to be format Windows. Otherwise, it won't work on any Windows PC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Now, the second gen,
I'm putting
it's okay.
B tier.
It's not the best
B
one.
tier because it has that little lip on the one side, and that's where you're supposed to hold it.
Yeah.
It's just
Forget what it looks like. Let me look it up real quick.
The thing is that...
Hold up. Hey, Jesus, go into the pinned messages and do the iPod tier list.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Alright.
So, the thing with the second gen is that they just changed it from charging via USB to charging through the headphone jack.
Yeah, it's it's a weird thing. And
It's not
that's how it worked for the rest of the shuffles.
It's not a huge deal. It's just if you lose it, oh no, you can't charge your shuffle until you buy another one.
And also the headphone jack is the only port, so good luck charging while listening to music.
Yeah, that's...
Kind of like how modern Apple does.
They were the first.
Yeah.
Well, they were just copying the Game Boy Advance.
Apple... We'll go off track here for a minute or two, but, okay, with the iPhone 7, they announced that they're getting rid of the headphone jack. So they created a problem, but they immediately solved it with introducing the AirPods. It wasn't a huge deal because they immediately solved it. It's the shuffle.
Kind of shady, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but they were $150, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't exactly pack-in headphones.
No, that would have been nice, though.
Yeah, if they packed in AirPods with the iPhone,
Yeah.
I think I would have stayed an iPhone guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because the last iPhone I had was a 6S,
yeah.
and after that I just swapped to Samsung.
Well, last thing before we move on to the third gen, I started off as a 6S and now I'm on the 10R, the 10R is
Oof.
perfect. It's not the
I
best
think I started at the
Apple one,
4 and
I-
ended at the 6.
Yeah,
but
I still have a Galaxy S8 because it's the last one. No, it's one of the last ones to have the headphone jack.
yeah.
This thing will never die. I
Now
replaced the battery.
I'll get back on
Alright.
track here. The third gen, I'm
Alright.
putting as an A tier. I mean,
Really?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's an A tier for me. Yes,
I mean, it's legitimately just a slab of metal. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
all it looks like.
granted.
Yeah, and you kind of have to have those headphones with the remote in them.
Well,
Yeah.
but at this time, it was kind of standard. Most earbuds at the time had a remote system in them. It wasn't limited
Yeah,
just
but
to Apple stuff.
Yeah,
If
then
you-
you also had to do those weird like triple press gestures to like go back and forth and whatever.
I mean, that's not too bad. But if you wanted to like plug it into your car or something, then that's like a huge problem.
Yeah.
I guess I would put it down to a B tier. I want one just because of the way it looks and it's such a sleek design. But
Just
Yeah,
because it looks weird.
I want one too, but just because it's like super small.
yeah. Now the fourth
Yeah,
gen,
that's pretty much it.
the fourth gen is
Fourth?
an S tier for me. For me, because one,
I don't. Okay, I'm going to vehemently disagree with you on that because to put the fourth gen above the second gen is just not okay with me, especially because I have a fourth gen, and yeah, it's super small.
Oh, it's not
But
because of its being
it's
super
like-
small.
No, there's nowhere to like actually hold it without like
Oh,
hitting the buttons, and especially if you want to like do the clip thing,
yeah.
you're, like holding on to the edge, the like corners, and it's also made out of the same material as like a fifth gen Nano. Is that like super shiny like aluminum thing?
Yeah.
So it's just like it's super slippery.
My-
And the second gen had that little like lip thing where you're like kind of supposed to hold it. And it was like very nice.
Oh.
And you had like enough grip to like open up the clip.
Right.
That rhyme, I know. But I don't know. I'd prefer a second gen over the fourth gen because of that.
Also, I think
You
a
know-
while ago I saw that that people were modding the fourth gens to be totally waterproof, so you could listen to it like underwater while you're swimming.
Yeah, they were waterproof. The fifth gens were. Yes, there
Fourth
is
gen.
a fifth gen. It's just the same model or same design as the fourth gen, just with different color options. That's the only difference. And waterproof.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
My
Really?
thing is, okay, it keeps the idea of a shuffle in mind. It doesn't have a lot of storage because you're not going to have a huge music library on these without a screen. And one of the things was it had the voiceover button, which was really useful for me because Shuffle was my first pod I ever owned. Like, I bought it for myself. It was the first thing I ever owned. Apple device I ever owned. But when you don't quite know the music, or you skip through and you don't know which one you landed on, pressing that button and hearing a voice just read out what the song name is helpful. You can't deny that compared to the previous shuffles. That didn't happen. Especially if you don't remember your whole track, but you know, like, let's say you know pretty well all the song names, but you don't remember which order they're in, being able to hear which song you're now listening to was useful.
Yeah, but it's like a shuffle. It's meant to be played randomly.
Yeah, but if you don't, I get that it's meant to be shuffled, but with the shuffle, what they specifically did was that they shuffled, once you went through your whole playlist, it was already shuffled, pre-shuffled with all your albums and everything. Once it did that, it would reshuffle them again and again. Every time you went through the whole playlist that you had on there, it would shuffle it in a random order again. So you could never memorize what your order was.
Well, that was the whole point.
Yeah, that was the whole point. Yes, but if you don't know the song name,
I mean, yeah, they have the play in order function, but you're not supposed to use that on a shuffle.
Yeah, it's a
you're not
shuffle.
supposed to use that. It. The thing with
But
the
I actually
shuffle is
do
just,
understand the voice readout thing because without it, it's like playing music quiz. It's just super random.
yeah. The thing with the I mean, it wasn't like a horrible device. Yes, it was small, but I mean, its highest capacity was 2 gigs.
I thought it was 4.
No, it was the 5th gen shuffle they brought. 5th gen shuffle. The 5th gen shuffle. We're just gonna go here. Shuffle. It was. Okay, so. Oh, come on. Oh. Interesting. So, I'm sorry, so, I just pulled up Apple's website, and when you watch the video, you'll be able to see it. So, the first shuffle had 512 meg or 1 gig. Second shuffle had a gig or 2. Third gen shuffle had 4 gigs. The late 2009 version of the third generation shuffle had 2 and 4 gig options. But then the 4th generation had 2 gigs. The late 2012 4th gen only had 2 gigs. And then the 4th gen mid 2015 only had 2 gigs. So all of them only had 2 gigs for the 4th gen shuffle compared to the 3rd gen had 4. Like,
yeah. Well,
I
you
get
don't
that
really
it's
need
not to
that much storage
it's just
on a shuffle.
the shuffle is just a weird kind of pod.
It's
kind
a
of,
novelty device.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It doesn't really fit in with the rest. Like, if you gave me the option of having a shuffle or a nano, I kind of pick a nano over it, even though I dislike the nano so much.
That's an easy decision.
Yeah.
It's very easy. Yeah.
Now, if you gave me any option, I would hands down choose a classic. Probably either a 4th gen or a 7th gen.
Well, if you had, there were a lot of those like really cheap MP3 players that just didn't have that also didn't have screens, and I bet you that's what Apple was trying to go after.
Yeah.
Well, who did it first? Was it the cheap ones or was it Apple?
I think it was a cheap one. It might have been the cheap ones first. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah. If you look, I'm screen MP3 player. I mean, there's a lot of screenless ones out there. I mean, there's still one that I've actually wanted because it's such a cool little device. But yeah, they are all. I think the whole idea of no screens came out with the knockoffs or other companies first, but I think Apple just did it better. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's like really cheap, it still feels like really nice. The
Yeah.
buttons are like really tactile, and they again feel nice.
Yeah,
It just has that thing of quality.
that's what
Unlike
Apple does
the
best.
cheap
I mean,
ones,
even the shuffle,
but I mean,
it doesn't. Even though the first gen shuffle's made out of plastic, it doesn't feel cheap. Like that's
yeah, it's made out of like the same. I think it's made out of the same plastic as the '09 like white MacBooks, the
Yeah.
plastic ones.
mhm.
I mean, that plastic, it feels nice. Yeah, it's plastic.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so like I don't have
Talking
anything
about
about.
the qualities of plastic.
Yeah, but like I've
Not
never
very
owned
interesting
one,
to
so-
begin with.
Yeah.
No, but it's just the shuffles are a weird class compared to the others. They're not.
It's like it's a totally different thing.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
In my point of view, it's really not meant to compete with the other iPods.
Again, it's meant to be like probably for children, maybe.
Yes,
Or
probably.
like it's or no, it's supposed to be like really cheap so that if you lose it, or you crush it while working out or running, it's supposed to not really be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And besides, the shuffle I have has worked a grand total of once because here's the story. So I was at my uncle's place, and I mentioned that hey, I'm in like collecting iPods. He was like, all right, I think I have like an iPod around here, and he gives me this 4th gen shuffle, like new in box. I swear to God. So I was like, all right, sweet. So I take it back, and I go plug it into my computer.
It
I leave
doesn't
it
work.
there for like a day, and I take it out, and it has not charged one bit.
Oh.
So, and now that I'm looking at it like closely, the like seam around the back, it's kind of bulging a little bit. So,
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
you can see it like just barely.
So
Alright.
put her on a plane.
Put it on. I'll be back. Alright guys, so like I said, I'm keeping this video short. That was the shuffles, and please comment down below if y'all want the video quality to improve, and I'll actually start working for once. But alright, see y'all till next time. Peace out.